Welcome everyone back to the channel. Today is Saturday, January the 31st. Yes, the last day of January. Today our goal is to work for 8 hours and make $120. We are sitting in the apartments there. We just kind of drove around here just a little bit and trying to reset the app and get everything ready. And here we go. Let's turn it on and see what kind of money we make today. Our overall Dash rating has gone up to 100%. That's amazing. It did say a minute ago that it was an 8-minute wait. Now it's saying a 4-minute wait. So we're going to drive on up to Panera Bread where we normally sit. There is the Panera Bread. In that same building is a Chipotle. Right next to it is a Chick-fil-A. And right down the road is a Starbucks, Thai restaurant, which isn't open right now. Qdoba, and there's a Papa Murphy's Pizza, kind of a take and bake that, you know, they make the pizza and you take it home and cook it yourself. Okay, we didn't even make it to Panera Bread. We just pulled out of the apartment complex and we got an order for Panera Bread. $8.50, going like about 3.5 miles. So not too bad to start. Yeah, we haven't been as consistent this week, unfortunately. Have a really bad headache. It's been going on for over a week now. It all has to do with this weather and the pressure systems kind of coming in. It's really wiped me out. It's still really bothering me, but regardless of how bad I feel, we still have to make money, you know? The bills do not stop. What is your worst bill? Drop a comment down below. What's the bill that you get all the time that you're like, oh God, it's time for that bill again? I always like when I pull up to a place and you see another DoorDasher there dropping off something from Panera Bread, and this other DoorDasher was bringing something from CVS to the same person. It's like, makes you think, well, must be a slow time if they're sending 2 DoorDashers to one customer. I was pleased that when I dropped it off, I got a little extra tip, so it was $10.50 going 3 miles. That was good. And then I instantly get another order as soon as I close out of that. $6 going 1 mile. So we'll see if it actually comes back to this same neighborhood. Remember how I'm always talking about that? How it just kind of seems to either go to the same restaurants back and forth, or you're going to literally the same housing neighborhood. It's kind of strange how that happens. But yeah, we're not going very far. It's 1 mile total, and we're like half a mile from the restaurant. It's a place called Lincoln Square. It's owned by some Greek people. There's a lot of like Greek and Mexican type flair on the menu, so they'll have like Mexican omelets and, I don't know, feta cheese type omelets and things. I'd kind of mentioned this the other day. It's like when the snow and the inclement weather and different things like that, it seems like a lot of the people who are ordering DoorDash are the people who do not clear their walk, so you're having to walk through all this snow and everything. Oh, but we're doing a service for people. So I do love it, I do enjoy it, but it's the people that, not necessarily this customer, but the people who don't tip or leave $1 that kind of gets annoying. So there was a guy up here working. I didn't really see what he was doing. He was you know, kind of playing out in the snow with a snow shovel, and I kind of realized what he was doing. It looked like he was making a wall or something, but he's actually making an airplane over here on the left, if you can tell. This is the back end of an airplane. He was doing that with a snow shovel. He was shaping it and everything. Pretty darn cool. There's a grown adult playing in the snow. We all need to learn how to do that, don't we? Well, we just started snowing again, and we got our third order, Qdoba. Yeah, I believe it's $8.75 going about 4 miles. So I was headed back to Panera Bread to park. We got an order right as soon as I was pulling in before I could even park. We are getting some snow coming down right now, so I think it's probably going to be a fairly decent day with people waking up on a Saturday and seeing the snow and deciding, you know, let's just order some DoorDash. Yeah, so here we are. We picked up from Qdoba, and it's actually going, yes, to the same neighborhood we just was at. Interesting how that works. We waited a few minutes for an order, and when we got that order, it goes right back to where we were. Yeah, I was a little bit bummed out. I was kind of wanting to get out like I did last week, how I got out real early, like 4 o'clock in the morning. I felt like I got a great start. I felt like I got a little bit of the overnight crowd coming in with the Taco Bell White Castle orders right at 4 o'clock or something. And then there was a little bit of a lull around 6 or 7 o'clock. You just kind of keep doing what you can do and keep pushing at it. Very happy with our start so far. We're at $25 in the first hour. So hopefully every hour is just like that and we just keep rolling. We were driving back through all the restaurants there, right down the main street there. We get an order for Taco Bell, $6.25, going 3.3 miles. Another decent order. Yeah, so a lot of times I'll bring my own food, my own snacks and everything. I haven't really showed you guys a lot. A lot of times I'll bring something somewhat healthy and everything, like, I don't know, celery, carrots, pepperoni and salami slices, some cheese or something like that. But a lot of times it's stuff that I make. Today I made some, I'm going a little less healthy here. We made some cookies. Not the healthiest thing you can eat, but very good. Yeah, so this road here is called J.C. Phelps Drive. It is named after an American gymnast who won a gold medal, I believe it was in 1996. They are local to this area, and we have a athletic center named after them. We have a road named after them. Kind of nice for a small town. Okay, well, we had a little lull there with no orders. It is 10 a.m. Not quite all the sandwich places, lunch places have opened up just yet. Panda Express order, $4.50 going 4.3 miles, I believe. So we'll see how that one goes. I believe a snowplow or somebody seems to have wiped out the stop sign. What do you think? I just wanted to point out something. Not every person who works at McDonald's is the best cook. If you look at this house, in the upstairs there's 2 window air conditioning units. Now it is probably about 10 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's fairly cold. It's snowing and the air conditioners are on, and the person works for a place called Williams Comfort Air. Now I am sure there is a perfectly logical explanation why you would be running your air conditioning when it's snowing outside. There is a perfectly logical explanation for everything that every single person on this planet does. Ours is not to reason why. Ours is just to say, thank you so much for your $2 tip. Have a nice day. Got another order. $7.50 going 6.1 miles from McDonald's. That's not a great order. Dollars to miles, it's fair, but it's not great. Okay, so we dropped that McDonald's order off, and we are currently at $43 after just a little bit more than 2 hours. When we budget our money, as far as what we're trying to make here with Doordash, we try to do $15 per hour. I know that sounds a little bit low, but kind of keeps us all situated during the highs and the lows and the busy times, the slow times. But keep in mind, this is Saturday morning in a small community. A lot of people are home and not wanting to get out, which is kind of prime Doordash time. Well, we just picked up another order. This one fairly decent, not too horrible. It's long on miles, but $14.50 going 9.2 miles. It's at Chipotle. It does say like drop off by 11:19. I don't know what goes on with the Doordash algorithm sometimes, but this will not be delivered by 11:19. Exactly 10:57 right now. Probably going to be about 11:04 or 5 when we get to the restaurant. 11:06 or 7 maybe when we pick it up, even if it is ready. There is no way we're going to drive, what is it, probably 6-7.5 miles in like 10 minutes in the snow. Okay, so it says pick up by 11:03, and we're actually pulling into the parking lot at 11:03. So just like I said, we will be picking it up if it's ready by 11:04 or 5. For those of you that are not in snowy climates, that little orange stick right there kind of lets the snowplows know that there is a curb there so they don't hit the curb. Okay, so what did I tell you about the time? I come out of the restaurant and get situated in the car, and it's 11:07. It's been updated, so now it says deliver by 11:22. Now, I talked about this the other day. How does it keep updating and changing times? I realize it's doing that, but there should be a set standard. This is the time you should pick it up by. This is the time you should deliver it by. And that delivery window needs to open up just a little bit more. It should not be so tight that they have to constantly update it every step along the way. So in all honesty, I'll probably have it delivered by about 11:20, 11:21. But I knew when I saw 11:19, I'm like, that's not going to happen. That's a little too tight. I was really surprised because there was absolutely very little weight there. Normally on a drive like this, where it's about 3 or 4 miles north of town, I can make up a minute or two. Not that I drive that fast on these roads and everything. Sometimes there's a alternate path where you can go and shave off 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there. There's a lot of variables today. There's snow on the ground already. The ground's already cold. It's wet, it's snowing, the wind could be going just a little bit more, the sun could be a little bit more cloudier, so it's, the blacktop is not as warm. There could be less traffic out. There's so many different variables. Doordash in California, their little computer bot algorithms cannot predict all of that for this particular order. And I've called them and complained a lot of times to the support. It's like their delivery windows are just a little too tight. I deliver in the exact same town 95% of the time, so I know the ins and outs of every restaurant, the quirks of a lot of the employees. Another thing, the app doesn't like to work in inclement weather. I had to exit out and open it back up to know if I had to turn left or right there. I knew that I was turning on this road, but all in all, it's not too bad. It's a lot better than it was. I think about 6-9 months ago, the delivery windows were absolutely crazy, and literally every order I was dropping off was late. It had to come back and say, oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay. Well, no, don't make me late on every order and then say, oh, it's okay. There's something wrong with the system. Oh, this is a really, really good customer here. They order quite a lot. Beautiful house. They've been working on this for about the last year, really working on their landscaping and everything. They've done an amazing job with this house. I wish you could see the landscaping though. There we are, and I'm too good. When I snapped the picture and completed the order, it was exactly 11:20. As soon as we dropped that off, we got another order, $8.60 going 7.7 miles. However, about 6 miles of that is driving back to the restaurant, and it is right next to that Chipotle. It is the Thai restaurant, Zap Thai restaurant. Wonderful place, one of my favorite places. And then the delivery is going to be right behind that. And this is why I like this particular area. We have Chick-fil-A over here on the right, followed by Panera Bread and Chipotle. Then there is Steak and Shake right here. There's the Starbucks that I can't get into. That's okay, we'll wait. Don't worry about me. You could have turned a little bit wider and I could have gone through. I don't have to wait for every car in Starbucks to drive here. Why do I have to wait for every car in Starbucks drive-through to order in order just to get through this road? Yeah, that's just highly inconsiderate. What are we doing here? I don't think these people that go to Starbucks really know what they're doing. Really, that van wanted to turn left. I don't think that people who go to Starbucks really understand what it is that they're trying to accomplish in life. This person came out of that Starbucks drive-thru and they wanted to turn right. Now, I gave them clearance so they could have gone that way, when they tried to pull in front of me, and then they stopped and pulled over to the left. So then I had to go around them, but then they went to the right. Very, very weird. Here we are at the Zap Thai restaurant. This one will probably take a few minutes for the order. It says pick up by 11:40. It is currently 11:35. I've clicked I have arrived at the restaurant. They have ordered the Thai spicy basil Pad Gra Pro. This order is going to the hospital, so that's good because after my experience there with Starbucks, I need to go to the flippin' hospital. So our hospital has multiple entrances. The majority of the time it's going to be to the emergency room. They have a table there for people to pick up. Although there are a lot of people that order from a particular nurse's station, there it is a high-risk intensive care type unit where they can't leave. They have to monitor the patients all the time, so the nurses aren't able to leave their station. So we have to take it up to them. And then a third and smaller option, there's this professional wing of the hospital where there's more doctors' offices and the neurology nurses and doctors tend to order from there a lot. I know the neurology place very well. Yeah, so that was a delivery for one of the hospital employees, and they usually pick that up in the emergency room. That's very easy. You just kind of go in through the emergency room door. There's a table right there. You drop it off and then snap your picture and run back out. So it's a very nice, easy drop off. I do like that one as opposed to the other one. On the other entrance, you have to go in the main entrance, go all the way to the back of the lobby to the elevator. Then you're going to take that to the third floor. Then you take that down a hallway to get to the nurse's station, drop it off, and usually there's a PIN number. You have to wait for the nurse to give you the PIN number, even though you let them know that you're there, like probably 3 minutes early. They could see you if they were actually looking at their app. Then you got to come back down the hallway and back down the elevator and back out the lobby, which is probably about 4 minutes maybe total that you have to walk all that. A lot of times you'll get an order when you're leaving the hospital and it won't pick up, so you get a notice when you walk out the door saying, oh, you didn't confirm this order, therefore we're going to turn you off today. What? Yes, there's no internet connection throughout a lot of the hospital. Sometimes later at night, like after 8 p.m., and I have to deliver to that third floor, I have to go in through the emergency room door, and then I have to walk all the way the length of the hospital to get to that elevator to go to the third floor and in that case, it's probably a good 8-9 minutes that you're away from your car trying to just simply drop off an order, which is an insane amount of time, especially when that internet connection is a little bit spotty. I don't know if I said, but we've got an upside down order, but it's not horrible. It is $3.10 going 5.5 miles. The 5.5 miles is that I am going literally right back where we were with the restaurant and coming kind of similarly back close to where the hospital is. It's amazing how that happens. We've gone Chick-fil-A, Qdoba, Panera, Qdoba, Zap Thai restaurant. Every one of the restaurants I believe that we've gone to other than McDonald's has been in the same general area. Yeah, but everything is completely random. So there's somebody who doesn't really understand how to shovel their driveway. The entrance is smaller than where their car gets parked, so I was unable to drive in there. You have to have a little bit of clearance to be able to turn into your driveway or turn out of your driveway, rather than when you're all the way up near your garage. It needs to be at least the same width as your car, not smaller. So yeah, it's not like I've got a large vehicle. Just common sense, man. They must have moved from California or something. Long John Silver's, it is $7.50 going 4.4 miles. Yes, right now we are currently have been going for about 3.5 hours. We're at $69. So if we go about $15 per hour, then we should be about 50 $22-ish. Yeah, so this was overall a fairly easy order. Normally we have to wait a few minutes there at Long John Silver's, and with this being a baked fish order, it took them a few moments extra to prepare. But we just came out right out of this road right there from the house that we were at when we dropped off and delivered that food. And so it was only a couple of blocks to the Long John Silver's. So that's the way every order should be, depending upon your particular town, your particular city, and everything. But that's ideally a perfect DoorDash day, when you go from a restaurant to a house, and then you go from that house to a restaurant which is nearby that house, and then drop off at another house, and then that house just happens to be close to another restaurant. That would be lovely. And then sometimes you know, when all these restaurants are on a big long strip and everything, then sometimes I get those orders, like I said, many times, where we'll get those restaurant orders that literally go to a hotel or to an apartment or something which is right behind those restaurants. And that's how I get some of those orders that are 0.5 miles. And I'm like, okay, now that's a good order. Sometimes the customers know that, so they'll like tip accordingly. They'll think, well, you're only going, you know, half a mile. You're not driving far, but sometimes it's driving to the restaurant or driving from another place or whatever. And regardless, it's still time and effort and everything. So, you know, it's obviously worth a lot more than $1. Like that house that I just dropped off to, $1.10. Come on, man. Seriously. So now we got this $7.5 Long John Silver's order. Imagine that, wonder of wonders. We're going to the same section of restaurants, Qdoba, $7, going, I believe, 2.9 miles. So decent order again. Not too bad on the miles. Looks like things have calmed down here at the Starbucks now. We haven't gotten back to the restaurants yet, and $8.75 going 4.7 miles. So it's staying pretty steady. I think last week there was some better dollar orders, but I think there was also some times where we were sitting around taking a nap. All right, here's a decent order. $9.75 going 8.3 miles from the China Inn, and also we got to pick up at another place. I think it's Subway. Decent order there, and we're making decent money so far today. We're just under $100 so far. So we just picked up from the China Inn. Such a pleasant person in there. She always does a really good job. We have to go to the Subway, which is right here across the street. Right there. Trudging through that snow, the customer had actually sent me a message there not to pull into the driveway because they didn't want us to get stuck. Then I did that and walked up there and everything, and they sent another tip, $3 extra, so that was nice. All right, and now we are going to Dairy Queen to pick up $3 going 1.7 miles, which actually we are about 1 mile from the Dairy Queen, so that drop-off is going to be right by the Dairy Queen. Okay, so that took way too long in the Dairy Queen. 31 minutes from the point when I accepted the order until I dropped it off. 31 minutes for a $3 order, which means the customer tipped me $1. You know, I always talk about the law of averages. We can complain about that, or we can move on and be excited about the good ones. It's all about the averages, and as long as we average out to about $15 per hour, especially during these slow periods, like January and February, then early February, I guess I should say, then it'll be fine. But I appreciate everybody so much. If you are enjoying this, don't forget, hit that thumbs up, and also if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. We're having so much fun with this. I hope you are too. We followed that order with another really bad order. We've got like $4 on a bin soft pretzel, which doesn't sound too horrible until you realize it's inside a Walmart. It's a Saturday afternoon, folks. Come on, walking around trying to get a parking place at a Walmart on a Saturday afternoon. It's snowing. Then I go in there, and of course the two ladies are too busy worried about the TV not being on, so they're trying to figure out how to turn on their TV. Luckily the order was ready, except for the drink. There was an empty cup. I'm like, well, what is this supposed to be? And they're like, well, what does it say for you? And I'm like, it says drink. So she seems to be upset that she has to look at her screen to figure out that it's a Pepsi or something, and then goes back to watching. She has to help the other person with the remote control. When I dropped off this order, it's saying it's a 45-minute wait for the next order. So after a little bit, I get an order, and it says like, $6 going 13 miles or something like that. So I decline it. And then it says average wait time 1 to 2 minutes. Excuse me. And then I get a more reasonable order, $7 going 6 miles. Yeah, I think there's something kind of funky going on around here. Okay, so just as I was coming up to the restaurants, I get an add-on to the route, and that is for Chick-fil-A $6 and practically no miles. So that means that I just traded $6 for 13 miles. I declined that, and now I've got $13 going 6 miles. How about that? First of all, I'd like to apologize to everybody for getting this video out late to you. I know we've really talked about getting out a video every single day. We got a little bit behind the weather and everything, and things really, one thing kind of spiraled into another there. When we started out this week, we wanted to make $180 in 12 hours. On Saturday, January the 31st, we worked for 12 and a half hours. Doordash paid us $70.40, and we made $152.77 in tips. That brought our total earnings to $223.17, which was a little bit more than our goal. Unfortunately, it still didn't make up for the shortfall for the rest of the week that we had. Now, please bear with us. We have a lot of content coming here over the next couple of days. Coming at you. On Monday, we are going to be having, on Monday, we're going to be dropping a video. You've all been asking for it. How did we do for the month of January? How do we do with renting this car? How did that all work out for us and everything? Well, we're still renting a car. We'll let you in on that, but we've changed it a little bit. Just a little teaser there. We're still renting a car, but we've changed up the program a little bit. But we'll have a video all about that coming to you on Monday. And then also, we have some shorts coming at you. One of them is definitely going to be going back to the Richest Man in Babylon series. We only got one of those key elements out to you. We got to get the second one. So stay tuned for all that. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. And also, I would like to say thank you to our brand new channel subscribers. We have Meg 1980, Dakota Robbins, Floristic, and Stormy Cat. Such wonderful people. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Everybody have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.